Hello! It's YouTube land. Well, technically it's StreamYard land and just me land so far. But that's okay. I was just trying to remember the song. There was a song by Poe, not Edgar Allan Poe, but just like Poe. She was a woman that released some music in the 90s that was pretty fun. And one of the lyrics was, "Whoever, wherever you are, I've got my light on." And it made me think about turning a live on is kind of like turning the porch light on, you know? Like, particularly at Halloween. I don't know if you guys trick or treated where you were, but where I am, we did as kids, and we do. When the porch light is on, that means, "Hey, come on over. Come on over. Come on down. Say trick or treat. Come hang out. Say hello." And then when you turn the porch light off, that's like saying, "Okay, we're going to bed in here, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here." That kind of thing. So I thought, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm turning the porch light on. You don't have to come over, but if you want to, the porch light's on. Um, you can come say trick or treat if you want. Maybe I have chocolate. Which brings me to the silly title of this live, Chocolate and Neurology, which actually was inspired by the tonight's live stream on the lifeboat. Captain Spanks Calhoun mentioned something about chocolate. Like there was a stretch there where we were just talking food because food is delicious and who doesn't like a discussion of good food? And chocolate came up. And he said something to the effect of chocolate has an effect on the brain. It has a positive effect on the brain. It helps release all those happy neurochemicals. And as so often happens to me with the Lifeboat Lives, the host will say something and I'll think in the back of my head, yep, that's exactly right. Hashtag they're right. Um, but it got me thinking, I want to remember what the specifics were about what exactly it does to the brain because I knew it affected like serotonin and dopamine and all that fun stuff we love, but I was trying to remember, well, what were the specific pathways of how it did that? I'm trying to remember. So I looked it up, and so chocolate doesn't just affect your dopamine, which is your feel good, go get more of the thing that feels good neurochemical. It also affects your serotonin levels. Serotonin is another neurochemical, which is more of the hey, everything's cool neurochemical. Uh, I mean, it's more complicated than that, but generally speaking, serotonin is the one that's like, hey, we can just chill because everything's cool here. Um, has a lot of implications to do with well being and things like that. So, chocolate ends up being linked to serotonin through something that is actually in chocolate called tryptophan. If you've heard of tryptophan, it's probably because you think about Thanksgiving turkeys and how eating turkey has tryptophan in it, and the tryptophan supposedly makes you sleepy and fall asleep after Thanksgiving dinner. Um, there's some debate about whether it actually does that, but what tryptophan is it's an amino acid that your body uses to make serotonin. Um, so there's a lot of stuff out there about neurochemicals and neurotransmitters and stuff like that. But, and there's a lot of information out there about how different psychiatric medications like Lexapro, Prozac, those kind of things, about how they help you keep more of those happy neurochemicals in your brain. But people forget that your body makes neurochemicals from the food that we eat. Our body makes neurotransmitters, the stuff that's responsible for our mood and the way we behave. It makes those from the food we eat, from the nutrients we get. So if we're eating crap all the time with no nutritional value, our brain's not going to make the right kind of neurochemicals, or it's not going to make enough of them, or if it's not going to make effective ones. So, like, again, so preface this by saying I am not a doctor. And I am not an expert. I am not an expert in much of anything. But I can read. So I've got that going for me because not everybody in the world can do that, right? But we jump to, I think, at least in American culture, I don't know about everywhere else, but my hot take is that we jump to, oh, I'm sad. I must not have enough of this neurochemical. I must need a medication. And that may very well be the case for a lot of people at a lot of times. Like certain mental illnesses can totally be hereditary, and some people really do need that. Like for real, they do. But I think it's worth looking at what else is going on first. Like if you're just kind of like low level depressed and you have a crappy diet, well, it's probably not helping. And of course, those things feed each other, right? Like if I've got if I'm depressed, I'm probably not gonna, like, take a lot of time to shop for good food and, like, prepare myself good food. So, as a result, I'm probably gonna pick up junk food like Mickey D's or Wendy's or whatever. No offense, Mickey D's and Wendy's, you have your place, but not for nutrition. So, I'm probably gonna eat junk food, and then my brain's probably not gonna make the right kinda neurochemicals I need, and then I'm probably gonna keep being depressed. So, that's my that's my take home is that your body makes neurotransmitters. It makes those chemicals like serotonin, dopamine. Our body makes those from food. It totally makes those from food. So, tryptophan is one of those things that's found in food that your body uses to make serotonin. Now, chocolate also has in it something called tyrosine. Hey, Mary, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just riffing about chocolate and food and neurotransmitters. So I'm glad to see you. I probably will only stay on till like 12:30 my time tops because it seems like a pretty slow night tonight. I skipped last night because I was tired. I was just dog tired. So I fell asleep at like 9 p.m. my time, and I thought I was gonna wake up again because that's usually what happens when I fall asleep that early. But last night I did not wake back up. Or if I did, it was for like 2 minutes to look at the clock and go, "Eh." So I know you said that you've been resting today too. It's that kinda time, I guess, where we're all people are sleepy, sick, getting over things. It's a good time to rest. But I was up late finishing some work anyway, and I'm like, well, this is going to be my work break. My work break is going to be to go live and talk about food neurotransmitters or whoever wants to hang out. Oh, heck yes. Chocolate is sometimes a girl's friend during certain times of the month, for sure. And that's absolutely like, it makes sense, right? Like, so our hormones go all out of whack, and our hormones affect our neurochemicals, which affect our mood and our energy levels and stuff, right? And chocolate does this awesome thing where it helps us make more serotonin, which is our chill, everything's cool. It's our everything's cool neurochemical. The chocolate has the stuff in it that our brain uses to make that. So it totally makes sense. And then chocolate also helps us release endorphins and things like that. And it was funny, like, I remembered, like, listening to that earlier on tonight's Lifeboat Live about how chocolate does that, and I remember thinking, "That's totally correct," and that's when I went back, but I wanted to go find the nuts and bolts of how it was correct, because that's how I do, and the website I ended up at happens to also have a recipe for chocolate cake with mocha frosting by Ina Garten. It has the recipe, and then underneath it, it has the article for how chocolate affects your neurochemistry, and that's just chef's kiss awesome. I love that. That makes me happy. I'm gonna make this recipe because, they worked in neurochemistry to their recipe, and that made me really happy. Mary, you didn't get to bed till, like, 2? Oh, no. And then you woke up at 5, then you had to get up at 7:30 to get ready for church. Oh, wow. So you only cobbled together just, like, a few hours of sleep there. That's no fun. I'm so sorry. It's hard to feel rested when your sleep is broken up like that too. Like, I remember that being a huge challenge when our little guy was a newborn. because even though newborns sleep a lot, they don't sleep for very long. So, they're awake every 2 hours, so, like, your sleep is just broken, you don't get, like, a big chunk of sleep, and that's kind of a bummer. Mary, I don't care how much chocolate she put in those Vegemite brownies, this girl is never gonna try. I'm gonna check that recipe now that you've mentioned it, because that recipe was shared with me, and I think I might, depending on how crazy work is, I think I might make that on my lunch break tomorrow. We'll see. I just want an excuse to make brownies as well, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's see, where is there it is, there's the brownie recipe. I have a link to it. It's an Australian recipe, actually, which makes sense because it's, Vegemite. Uh, have you heard the Men at Work song? The "I come from a land down under." There's a lyric in there. "She just smiled and made me a Vegemite sandwich." I can't imagine eating a whole sandwich with Vegemite. It's too pungent, it's too powerful. You know what, Miss Mary? I bought some anchovies today, though. I took my little guy to the grocery store with me, and we mostly stuck to the list, but then when we were in the aisle getting tuna, I was like, "Oh, I need my can of anchovies." I haven't had anchovies in so long, because I had, like, a kit for Caesar salad, and I like to put them in my Caesar salad, so I was like, "This has to happen. Anchovy time." But they only had 1 brand. Like, I guess we're having an anchovy shortage. All they had was the Kroger store brand of anchovies, but that'll have to do. That'll have to do. I'll have to find my certain recipe for brownies. Believe me, you'll never make store-bought brownies again. I believe you. I believe you. Scratch baking is like, mm, that's the best. Although, if I've gotta do something, like, from a box, the Ghirardelli chocolate brownie mix is really good. Like, if you want just something easy, like a box mix, that mix is really good. Um, that's never gotten any complaints when I've made that. Oh, with the broken up sleep, every waking up every few hours, something with fibromyalgia. You could sleep for 8. Oh, I see. The sleep doesn't feel restful. Gotcha. You could sleep for 8 hours and still feel like you didn't sleep at all. That stinks. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna I'm gonna put a 1. That expressing my prayers and positive thoughts, and that sucks. That just sucks. It makes me even more impressed with your tenacity and your energy and your determination, Mary. It really, really does. Like, the fact that you're pretty much always in pain and you do as much as you do, like hats off. Like, if I had a hat, I would tip it, but I don't have one. I don't wear hats very often. I don't have a head for hats. At least I don't think I do. But I haven't tried one in a while, so maybe I should. Okay, here's a Vegemite brownie recipe. It looks good in the picture. Like, it doesn't look bad. It could be good. Let me see how much chocolate's in it. I know that that's what you said, you didn't care how much chocolate was in it. Okay, so I think here's the secret is there's 300 grams of Cadbury baking dark chocolate. There's also a half of cup of cocoa. And then, of course, and then you've got, like, a third of a cup of Vegemite in the whole recipe. And then you've also got brown sugar, vanilla extract, and then more sugar. So, like, 1 to 1. "Hey, sweet tea, how you doing? It's good to see you." Ghirardelli brownies are really, really good. I am reviewing a recipe for brownies that include Vegemite in them because I did an experiment where I tasted it because I would hear so much hemming and hawing about whether it was terrible or not, and, uh, in my humble estimation, it was not good. But then Sandy Wandy sent me this cool recipe for Vegemite brownies, so it looks like there's only a third a cup of Vegemite in it total, and I think that's, like, pretty much, like, half of what I have left. So it could use up most of it. It wouldn't be so wasteful. But it looks like there's way more, like, the ratio, there's way more chocolate and sugar then there is Vegemite. That's probably the secret. It I would imagine the Vegemite just gives it a little bit of, if it's overpowered enough by the sugar and the chocolate, which I'm hoping it is, then it probably just lends it a little bit of, like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm nervous to tell you the truth. But this is an Australian recipe too. So all of the measurements, like when it's saying like how much chocolate, like it's got 300 grams of Cadbury baking dark chocolate. So I had to look at a different part of the bag when I was buying stuff than I usually do. But yeah, I love if I'm gonna yeah, if I do box brownies, which most of the time if I make brownies, I do that just to save time. Ghirardelli are really, really good. And they also make one that's like caramel drizzle. That one's really, really good. And I probably should stop talking about brownies because I don't eat at night, um, because that's part of my health weight loss journey is like I eat during the day. I don't eat at night. Although I will drink like tea and stuff and water and I don't go crazy like but whenever I start talking about food at night, I'm like, I want to eat like a whole pizza and then finish it off with a pan of Ghirardelli brownies. Just to be honest with you. Mm! Hey, Misha, it's good to see you. You were one of the first people I was thinking about today when I got a news thing pop up about all the twisters and tornadoes. I have some other friends in your neck of the woods too. So I was thinking of them too. And I was trying to find people and text people, but I'm glad to hear from you. And it looks like, yeah, we need to be done with all the tornadoes and twisters. We need to be done with all that stuff. That's not good. Um, I've lived in North Texas my whole life, and there have been tornadoes like that have touched down close to me, and have like damaged areas kind of close to me, like Garland, I think, but never landed on top of me. Like they always seem to like I've been fortunate enough, they've always seemed to like hop over me. Um, and I don't know if that's just like being so close to a big city. Like I don't know if it changes the temperatures and all those things that go into making a tornado happen. You said it got pretty scary though. I hope you and your family and all of your people are safe and all of that good stuff. Just ones for all of the Midwest folks with the twisters and the tornadoes. It's not tornadoes are not romantic like they are in the movie Twister. As enjoyable a movie as that was, they're not romantic. Not um, the Vegemite video. Is that the link to the Vegemite video, Mary? Thanks for sharing that if it is. Oh my gosh, Misha, I'm so sorry. It destroyed a town that your girls grew up in? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Misha. I'm so sorry. Now you can't even tell what is what, huh? It's a tourist town. I even built a mansion, literal, from the concrete up in that town. Wow. That's really scary. Praying for Carol right now. Got kinda close to her area earlier. That's right. She's in, Arkansas, right? Around there. Gosh. I, uh I had some friends on Facebook that are kinda close to there, and they checked in to say that they are safe, but their next step was to, like, go drive around and see if there was anything they can do to help people, like, dig out stuff or get water or something like that. Because people don't think about it, but tornadoes will also sometimes mess up, like, basic utilities, like things like water and stuff like that. Sometimes it messes up the water, sometimes it messes up the electricity. So there's a lot to there's a lot to think about. Actually, I'm gonna actually at work. So I still I'm working my corporate job until the week before June 10th. Like, I gave my notice, but I'm still there, and it's a national company, and I work for the Texas team, but we also have, like, we have different states and, like, different teams, and there's an Oklahoma team, and all of those people, like, we interact with each other, like, on the messaging system, on the corporate messaging system, but, um, all of those people, they live in Oklahoma proper, like, some of them near Oklahoma City, some of them near, um, like, Tulsa and different places. So she was one of and there's one, she's kinda new to us, and we've kinda been chatting a lot, and we kinda connected as friends, just, like, besides, professionally, and so she's one of the first people I texted, and she said, "Yeah, we're okay, thanks for checking in." So, it's really natural disasters or something different, like, it's very humbling, and it kind of it's extremely frightening and humbling, but it brings people together in a way also, or at least you hope it does, right? Mary, you've been through hurricanes. Oh, wow. That terrifies me. See, I've always lived in a landlocked area, so I've never experienced that. It's so hard when you go around and nothing looks familiar anymore. Prayers for all that are affected. Yes, yes. Many prayers for all that were affected. Oh, Hurricane Wilma down in Florida. You were in the eye of the hurricane. Wow. And then I left, a tornado came over my grandmother's pool and the whole screen came down to the pool. That's terrifying. That's terrifying. Oh, wow. I've always been kind of, I don't know what the right word for it is because I don't want to downplay the frightening nature of it and like how serious it is, but I've always found the idea of an eye of a hurricane to be something really, I guess for lack of a better word, it's just fascinating to me. Like the idea that there's all this destruction and chaos like whirling around, but then there's this center that's just it's just still. I mean, I've never seen one personally. I've never been in one, but and I wonder how large an eye of a hurricane is. Like, is it just the size of my desk or is it like a house? I don't know. It's just something I've always wondered about. Just glad it was more downtown than the residential area. Yeah. Yeah. At least lives weren't lost. That's good. Yeah. Thank God. Thank God. So much lost history, though. Yeah. That's rough. Nocturnal twisters suck. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's better that it wasn't in a residential area for sure. You still haven't heard back from most of your friends down there. Lots and lots of prayers for them. Like, surely they're just running around trying to organize everything. That's what I believe. Maybe their phone service isn't working as well. Sometimes stuff like that affects cell towers and Wi-Fi and things like that too. You think so? I hope not. But I guess we should all start digging our storm shelters, huh? In the part of Texas I live in, which is like north of Dallas, none of us have none of us have basements around here. Um when I worked at the mall, there was a lady who moved there from Las Vegas, Nevada, and she said at that time they didn't get tornadoes where she lived, and when she moved here, she said, "Oh, well, do you guys all have storm shelters since, there's tornadoes here?" And we're like, "No." Like, you're hard pressed to find a basement in this part of the state. Mainly because the soil is really, really hard and rocky, like, deep if you go deeper than a certain point, there's, like, just this layer of rock, and it makes it really expensive and really difficult to dig out a basement. So, if someone's got, like, a basement storm shelter around here, they paid a lot of money for that, a lot. Um, Although I did see sometimes people will get, like, these above ground ones that are, like, I don't know, they look just like a safe that people would go into. Um, I'm not sure how you would they're, like, really heavy, and I did see one in someone's front yard once. That was kinda interesting. I don't know how effective they are. Yeah, can we go back to winter or no tornadoes at least here in the winter? And it's much cooler. Yeah, it's spring. At least where I am, this is where spring is when we have all the crazy weather. We had although where I am, were lucky. It was just really loud storms. We had really loud storms last night. Like we had really loud thunder. Usually storms don't wake me up. Usually they actually kind of lull me to sleep and keep me to sleep. But last night we had such a loud thunderclap, it did wake me up. And I thought, oh no, I hope a tree didn't get downed somewhere or something. Yeah, the tele area. Oh, that's right. The area teleprovider isn't. Oh, even normally they're not very reliable or good, regardless of whether there's tornado outages. That's a bummer. Oh my gosh. In just that one little town last night, 2 tornadoes plus flooding plus hail. It feels like they come together. I don't know why. The eye of the hurricane, is that what you're referring back to? It can take a half hour to an hour for it to move over, and then you get to the backside of the storm. Wow. You had a curfew with no lights or electricity for a week. Wow. If we lost electricity here in the summer, people would be dropping like flies of heat stroke because like we're probably Misha, probably where you are, you guys too, because y'all's climate, y'all's temperatures in the summer are very similar to mine. Um, I probably live closer to Misha than I do. I'm not without like being specific. I probably live closer to her than I do to a lot of people in the same state as me. 'Cause Texas is so weirdly huge. Um, but yeah, it gets super hot in the summer, and if you don't have AC, that can get really dangerous. I dated a guy whose AC got turned off. I thought at the time it was because it was broken, but he was actually not paying for the electricity. He was spending the money on other things he shouldn't have been, but the electricity was out in the summer in his apartment, and I remember, like, people would just lay around, like, with ice packs on their necks to, like, try to stay cool. It was pretty wacky. Oh, you were working in a hotel. Oh, and you had to stay in the hotel. Oh, during one of the rooms because you couldn't go home. Oh, no. I mean, gosh, I guess if you gotta get stranded somewhere, a hotel is maybe more comfortable than other places, but that's scary. Hey, Sandy Wandy, it's good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. I missed you guys last night, but I was really sleepy. I was actually able to fall asleep last night, so I did. I'm so glad to see you. I love your exclamations. That makes me happy. Let's see. You're in Misha, you're in South Potco. Is that okay? Okay. That might be pretty close to me. I don't know. Or unless I'm confusing where I am, which is possible. That has happened at times. Oop, sorry, I moved my computer by mistake, y'all. I'm on a Chromebook. Where you went does not have a basement. Y'all don't have basements either where you are, Mary. Yay. Oh, hey, Anthony. Hey, Anthony JLD. Thanks for coming by. I'm so glad I met you and I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to have new friends come hang out. On these lives, I kind of start out with a certain topic, but then we just chat and then it just kind of goes wherever it goes. Thanks for being here. That makes me so happy to see you. I love this. You get the Oki bandanas going in the summer. Yeah, to keep cool. Yeah, you have to get them wet and put them on in the freezer. Yeah, yeah, we have those too. Hey, Mist. Welcome. It's good to see you. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad to see you. It makes me so happy people are hopping on. I'll probably hang out till about another half hour now that people are hanging out. Yeah, go check out Anthony's channel. He's got a super fun channel, and we're super happy to see you. Super happy you made it here. I kinda My lives are kinda random, but if I go live, it's usually after my kiddo falls asleep, and he has a super lengthy bedtime routine. Sleep is it's a thing. Like, we start it all like, we do bath time and we start it all, and we're usually, like, doing the stories and songs things at, like, 8, and then we're usually out of his room before 9, and then, like, we give him, like, a half hour, and usually he's still playing and, like, carrying on, and then we go check on him at the half hour, and, like, we might cuddle him a little bit more, then we leave again, then we give him another hour, and then he'll carry on for a while, and usually he will just, he'll just keep playing until he drops. Like, he'll pass out playing. Um, so usually he falls asleep, like, around 10:30, which is late for a little kiddo who's supposed to get, like, 10 hours of sleep, but we really do try to start it earlier. We really do. He does what he does. Yes, please go check out Miss Dragon's channel as well. She has an awesome channel. And Anthony, go check out his as well. Yes, tomorrow morning is a fishing day. Woohoo! I wish I was going fishing tomorrow. I haven't been fishing since I was like, gosh, a kid. I haven't been fishing since I was a kid, and I kind of miss it. I used to fish with my grandparents all the time. I actually have in my garage. It's probably too far away to go get and show y'all, but I'll show it to y'all sometime. I have a big fish skull, probably about this big, that belonged to my grandfather because he caught a really big fish once and he wanted to keep the skull as proof. And when he died, my grandmother was cleaning out his closet and she found this giant fish skull and she's like, "I've been wanting to get rid of this forever." And she was like, "Kristen, do you want this?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I like weird things. So I still have, but it's not like something, I don't know, like, I don't have anywhere to put it on my wall, so I have it, like, on a shelf in my garage, and I smile when I look at it. Mischief, your youngest, has always been a night owl. Yeah. I tend towards that way more naturally, and obviously our little guy does too. I'm pointing that direction because his room is down the hall. Like, if you go out this door, there's a bathroom, and then there's his bedroom. Um, and he doesn't care that I'm in here talking as long as I'm not, like, screaming bloody murder. Like, people talking does not keep him awake. Quietness does not lull him to sleep. Like, his ability to sleep is completely independent of that stuff. It's like he just has to tire his body out. And then once he's there, it could be a bomb going off around him and he'll still stay asleep, if he's tired enough. And it could be the perfect environment for sleep. And if his body's not tired enough yet, then he's still awake. That's how he does. You missed fishing. Oh, you watched an osprey catch a fish in a lake. I bet that was majestic. We were fishing, it circled us and then ate it in a tree like it was taunting us. Like, it caught the fish you were trying to get. Rude. Rude. But hawks are expert fishers often. You have to live by the water, river or ocean, or a big freaking lake, yeah. I could see why. Like, I feel like that's good for mental health. There was a So I don't know whereabouts you are, but I am in Texas, and actually there's only one natural lake in the entire state of Texas. Every other lake in our state was man-made, which means at some point people had to get, like, big bulldozers and shovels and stuff to, like, dig them out so that rainwater would collect in them. There's the only natural lake in the state of Texas is Caddo Lake. The rest are all man-made. Now they still have fish in them, you can still go fishing there, but it's just interesting, nature didn't see fit to make those, people had to make them. I thought that was fun. I mean, we have rivers, obviously, we have the Red River, but it's pretty red. And that's on the border with Oklahoma. Oh, with the fish heads? He did that on your fence post and you watched as it decayed. I guess he would have had to do something with the fish head itself to get down to just the skull, because by the time I got it, it was just the skull and it was clean and it wasn't gross anymore. It was just bone. But I guess, oh gosh, I wonder where he put that. He probably put it out somewhere outside their house. My grandmother was probably so annoyed by him. That was, like, the first thing she wanted to get rid of when she was cleaning out his closet. Um, she was sentimental about some things, but not the fish head. Not the fish head, she was not nostalgic about that. Ugh. Who are we talking around? Who says who's not alone? Who are we talking? Did I miss something earlier in the chat? I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm just challenged. I could be challenged. He could have, but I think there was something about it. It felt like a trophy of sorts to him, I guess. Like hunters will do the taxidermy thing. Like maybe it was like that. He never had any taxidermy stuff, and to my knowledge, he was never a hunter, but he kept his fish head. So I guess that was his version of it. There's something to this. You used to run vacuums and bang cabinets all night long to help your girls sleep without distractions. So my kiddo, this doesn't work on him anymore, but when he was an infant, like just a few months old, if I turned on a vacuum, he would immediately be out cold. Not necessarily for very long, and sometimes he'd wake up as soon as I turned the vacuum off, but it was like as soon as he heard that like rhythmic ring, like he was out. But it doesn't work anymore. Now he actually hates the sound of the vacuum. Like, if I turn it on, he yells. Like, I have to either vacuum when he's not home, like he's out with his dad or out at preschool, or I have to, like, make sure he's, like, on the opposite side of the house or something because he hates the sound of the vacuum. I'm pretty sure the Dolly Varden I caught there was supposed to be released, but it was delicious. I don't know what kind of fish that is. I'm gonna look that up though, because now I'm curious. What does a Dolly Varden look like? Perhaps Anthony knows, our resident fisherman. Let's see. What does a Dolly Varden look like? So I didn't have any natural lakes or rivers near me growing up, but like I lived in the suburbs and it was when I lived there, it was pretty small. But there was a park that had, like a lake created there, and they would stock it with fish. And so my brothers and I and my mom would go fishing there sometimes just for fun. And there's also a playground and like picnic tables and stuff. And one day we went there and there was this older man who was sprinkling orange peels like all around the water. And we were like, what is he doing? Why is he doing that? But sure enough, as he sprinkled these orange peels, all these fish just came gravitating towards the area where he sprinkled them. And like it didn't work as bait, but it like drew them out. So I don't know how he knew this, but I guess it was just that it like made it easier to catch fish because they would all already be in the area. And then when you put your hook out with the bait, they're like, orange peels. They'd already be there. I don't know if it works on all fish. I don't know if it's something about like the chemical signature or the scent of an orange peel, but it was the darndest thing. Your youngest sleeps so heavy. When I was a teenager, I could sleep really, really, really heavily. Like the roof could fall in and I'd still be asleep as a teenager. Now, not so much. Ever since I had my son, my sleep is much lighter. I think it's like the mom hair trigger thing. Oh, you're in Kentucky, but from San Francisco. Been here for 2 years now. Do you like Kentucky? Do you miss San Francisco? I don't believe I've never been to either of those cities. Like I've been to city like the eastern United States, like east of me and like a little bit north, but I've not been really western at all of where I am. So I've got a different part of the country to go look at, I guess. There's some stocked rivers and lakes up there. Yeah, like around here, everybody just stocks all the rivers and the lakes. Oh, you live in the Columbia River. Oh, I bet that's beautiful with all the bald eagles and the osprey. I love hawks. I think they're just such beautiful creatures. I love birds of prey. I think they're just the coolest. So that's another thing, when I had my son, like, you can tell, like, when he was a newborn, how obsessed I was because, like, every picture on my phone was him. I would take, like, multiple pictures every day, like, he'd just be sleeping, and I'd just be like, "Oh, take a picture." But the first picture on my phone I have that's not of him after he was born was when a red-tailed hawk landed on my back fence. So, I like hawks, I think they're cool. Yes, the Red River is definitely red. That's a funny story, is the first time that I went to Oklahoma with my family, we drove because we live in the Dallas area, like, actually, we live north of Dallas, so I can be in Oklahoma in under an hour from where I am. Like, if I'm just going to Choctaw or something like that. If I'm gonna go further into Oklahoma, it'll take a little longer, but I remember the first time we went to Turner Falls, like, on a family vacation. If y'all are familiar with the area, you might know what that is, but I remember being a kid in the car, and we're crossing the Red River, and I go, "Hey, look, it's a creek." And my mom goes, "That's the Red River, Kristen." But it seemed kinda small at the part we were passing. You have a magpie skull in your garage? That's so cool. See, that fits the menagerie theme, I think. I love, like, little weird collections of stuff, like little bones and skulls and trinkets and things, like, I love stuff like that. I love it. It makes me happy. Not the fish head. Nope, not at all. Kristen, we are going to work on some resources this week, right? Love you. Yes, we absolutely are. Absolutely. If I think I know what you mean, like doing like a uh whatchamacallit, like a channel trailer and stuff like that. Hey, hey Mon, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. You just got home from clinical Pilates. I've heard of Pilates, but I've never heard of clinical Pilates. Maybe is that different? Like, is that like more of a physical therapy kind of angle? I'm curious. Oh, your son hearing voices around him lets him know he's not alone at that age. Silence is scary. Hey, you're right. Probably hearing me chat in the next room maybe helps him stay asleep. I don't know. That's a good point. I remember I could always fall asleep more easily when I was a kid. Like when my parents had their friends over and they were playing cards down in the living room. My parents would play bridge a lot. Which is bridge is super complicated to me. They tried to teach me and my brother once, but I didn't have the patience. But they would play bridge, they would play poker with their friends, often not for real money, but, like, just chips just for fun. Um, but sometimes they would have them over, and they would stay up later, and I would, like, hear them downstairs just kinda chatting, like, not really loud, but I don't know, I always found it very comforting. So there's definitely something to that for sure. Yeah, the twisters are messing with our focus for sure. Hugs for Mon, we're so glad to see you. Oh, and I have more. I have more new comments. This makes me happy. And how far behind am I? I'm pretty far behind. That's okay. I thought that said clinical pirate. I wonder what a clinical pirate would be. Misha says I can't stand motors. Oh, like car motors? I have misophonia that's only gotten worse in the last decade. Bass, AC, trucks, etc. It's the frequencies. Oh, that must be rough if you have a lot of trucks that go by near you. I know people with misophonia who can't stand the sound of chewing. Like, it makes it hard for them to eat a meal with anybody because it just grates on them too much to hear somebody chewing. It says my oldest, I would place him in his car seat carrier at 2 months old and put it on top of the dryer and start it, and he would immediately fall asleep. It was like the car. I think I tried that once when mine was, like, in his newborn phase, like, the first 3 months. Um, we went on a lot of drives. Like, we would drive around a lot to get him to fall asleep. Oh, hey, yeah, check out Mary's second channel that she set up, Blessing Through Connection. It's a it's a way of kind of like sharing each other's like channels with one another so we can make connections with other small creators and help increase our subscriptions and increase our, just grow our channels. It's a really cool idea. I'm glad that she put it up. Would have been great to know 30 years ago. Oh, about the putting the kiddo in the dryer and the talking. Yay, thank you for yes, thank you for joining Mist's Menagerie, Anthony. I don't think you will not be disappointed. Ahoy, 7th! It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you stopped by. I'm always glad to see you. Thank you. Anytime he caught a 10-pound or more catfish, another skull would end up on the fence. Well, I only have the one skull from my granddad's fish he caught. I don't know if he kept more than that, and my grandmother just threw him out quicker. Everyone's saying hi. Yeah, please go check out the lifeboat if you have not already. I think everybody here has, but if you have not, please go do so. Captain Calhoun is responsible tangentially for my title of tonight's live because he brought up chocolate and how it makes you release happy endorphins. And that made me go, he's right. And I want to go look and see exactly how it does that. And it's because there's stuff in chocolate that your brain uses to make neurotransmitters. Our body makes those neurochemicals from the food we eat. So if all we eat is McDonald's, our brain's not going to work right. Although McDonald's is tasty sometimes. It's just that there's no food in that food, that's all. Yeah, yeah, we need you to take care of yourself. I see what you're saying, though. It's harder than doing everything else I wanted to, for sure. where you are in Kentucky is very boring. It's so boring, very pretty, quiet, just no people. All farms where I'm at, very nice, just boring, terribly boring. So if you like the quiet life in the country, it might be good, but if you like more, activities, I guess, maybe not. Not so much. Can honestly say I can't even remember a time when I was bored. It gets exhausting. I was thinking about that not too long ago. I was thinking, when was the last time I was really bored? And I think I was like maybe 11, maybe 10. I think 10 years old was the last time I was bored, unless you count like having to sit through a class or a lecture that's not good. You know, like I haven't been bored in the sense of I have nothing to do since I was 10 years old. But I have felt bored, like, having to sit through a lecture that I did not find entertaining, like, for classes or something. Mischief likes boring. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes boring is better than the alternative, depending. I agree with Mary. We all have your back for sure, Misha. Oh, your friend lives just outside of Choctaw? So, I can't remember. So, earlier on, like, before we had a kiddo, my husband and I would go up to Oklahoma and we would we would make that just like a weekend thing. Like we would go like stay overnight in one of the casino hotel things. And we didn't like gamble a whole lot, like just slot machines here and there. Mainly it was just a reason to get out of town and like go have a change of scenery. Um, but we've been to Choctaw a couple times and Windstar. Windstar seems like it has more like performances. Like Nick Offerman, the guy that played Ron Swanson on Parks and Recreation. He did a stand-up show at Windstar. That was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. Oh, I passed you going to Choctaw probably? You're probably, like, practically my neighbor, and I just didn't know it. I'll have to look back and I know you said where you were. I have to look back at it and double check. You're probably, like, really close to me, like, closer than people in Dallas, actually. Growing up the first 5 years in the mountains, when I got moved to the flatlands of the Yakima Valley, I was not happy. That is a change of scenery for sure. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? Sulphur is east of Turner Falls, by the way. Oh, is that where you are, Misha? Did I lose track? Turner Falls was funny. Like we went there I don't remember precisely how old I was, but it was me and my brothers and my parents, and we stayed in, like, this rented half of a duplex, and there's a lot to do, like, outdoors. Like, there's a lot of stuff to go see. There's the waterfalls, and there's a lot of cool stuff to go see, like, wildlife-wise. It's a really fun place. Um, but when you're just sitting in the, like, duplex place, there's not a lot to do, and, we were used to having, like, access to TVs and video games if we were just sitting around the house because we were kinda spoiled, but the duplex had none of those things. Like, it did not even have a television set. So, we got really silly. Like, we just got really silly and punchy and just made stupid jokes, and it was actually really, really fun. It was actually a really, really positive memory. So, I don't know, maybe it's good to go stay someplace without a television every once in a while. Because my brothers and I have all kinds of inside jokes about stupid jokes we made because we were just being silly that probably aren't funny to anyone but us. Yeah, it's okay, mischief. Not much for the nightlife. No nightlife out there. Ooh, you made a new intro for is that the was that the one with the? Oh, no, I'm thinking of something different. I don't think I've seen it yet. I'll have to go look at it. I'm behind on my YouTube friends' work today. Um, because today what did I do today with myself? My kiddo slept in. That's what's weird that happened. He never sleeps in ever. I think it was all the rain, but he slept in till like 10:30, and that's crazy because he's usually up by 7 at the latest. So he slept in. I went to yoga class. Dad hung out with him. Then I came home. I hung out with him, and then I took him grocery shopping with me. And grocery shopping can be like it can be fun because he likes to look at all the fruits and vegetables, that's his thing, or it can be rough because he's like, overstimulated. Today was fun, but it still takes a while. Yeah, card nights are fun. Ooh, who's having lamb? Wait, are we talking lamb for food or lamb as a pet? Either way, I'm happy. Y'all, I have a friend who, like, she works with horses, and she also has a farm, like, a little bit north of me, like, in the country, and, she raises goats and sheep, and she had a sheep that she variously posted pictures of, every once in a while, named Huey, and then one day I'm gonna upset somebody, I'm sorry in advance, and then one day she posted a picture of her dinner plate and wrote, "Huey is delicious." I'm sorry. It was the truth. It's what she did. But, like, if you're gonna eat animals, like, raise them in a happy place and treat them well. I think that's the best way to do it. It's probably better than factory farming. Let's see. Thank you for the 7th. 6 likes with 8 in the chat, and 2 of you that didn't hit the like button, you know who you are. What if I think one of them was me though. Like, it might have been me. I haven't gone in and liked my own stream yet. I'll have to look. I agree. I agree. Mary's doing incredible. You are doing the darn thing. Yes. I love that. Yes, absolutely. Anthony says my daughter had to push her in the stroller for a few months to get her to sleep. Yeah, we had a lot of that too. I went on a lot of walks when my little guy was small. A lot of walks with the stroller around the area. Walks, drives. Those are the main things. Lots of walks and drives. I did have a brief period of time where I took him to like, there was a lady that taught prenatal yoga classes that I worked with, and then she also did mommy and me yoga for when your baby was a little bigger but not crawling yet, and I took him to those with me, and basically it's just like everyone's tolerant of you having to, like, stop to change your baby or attend to your baby, but they also do cute little things with them, like, you hold them on your lap and you, like, stretch and you, like, sing little songs and stuff. It was pretty fun. But now he runs all over the place, and I couldn't take him to a yoga class now. He would not stay on a mat and think of the pink cloud. That's not his jam. Not at all. It says I need a channel trailer intro. Whatever, I just gotta get on the computer and put it up there. Mary's already seen it. Yeah, I need to make, like, a little short trailer thing too, but I just struggle with explaining what my channel is about because I have all this random stuff up like, I have the page 47s where I talk about books I like. I haven't done one of those in a while. I need to get back to doing those because those are fun, and then I do these lives where we just kinda hang out and talk. I might start with a topic, but then usually I go wherever y'all wanna go, and, then I also do random karaoke, which I'll probably have to stop eventually because it's all, like, copyrighted. Like, someone's gonna get mad at me. But it's fun. It's fun. I really everything I do here is because it's fun. And then I do some shorts now and then, like, just talking about random stuff I like. I did an unpopular opinion once. I don't know if I have enough unpopular opinions to do a whole series on that, though. So, yeah, I have to figure out how to describe what my channel is. It's this lady here that puts up videos and lives sometimes. That's what it is. In moderation, yes. Yes, mischief managed. That is the key to everything, right? Like, good for us in moderation. It has tryptophan in it. Tryptophan is what your brain uses to make serotonin, which is your neurochemical that is like tells you everything's all good and you can chill out. Let's see, get caught up with the chat here. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Spanx is doing a great job and he does have a kind heart and I'm loving it and clearly like he is a deep thinker. Like I can sort of see that and sometimes it's difficult for deep thinkers to communicate that in a forum like this, but I think he's doing great and I really enjoy the lives with him. Awakened. I am using my AI art as a thumbnail so no one can give me a copyright strike. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. There was a whole controversy around AI art. Like artists were worried AI art would take away their jobs, but I don't think it's doing that. I think it's just a different thing. And actually artists like use it as their own medium. Like Misha, I know, makes a lot of stuff with AI art that's still like her own work, but she's using AI as like the tool. But correct me if I'm wrong, I might not be understanding correctly how it works. Misha, if you ever want to have fun with my intro, go right ahead. And we know you have a ton on your plate, so only do it if you want to. Yeah, you do some cool editing stuff. Oh no, my comments are not letting me scroll like they were. It's okay. We're making it. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells, and pretty maids all in a row. And pretty maids all in a row. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Because I couldn't remember it, but it's kind of a nice, calm little rhyme. I like rhymes. They make me happy. Oh no, clinical Pilates, not clinical pirates. But could probably do with a pirate. What would clinical pirates look like? Would they like have peg legs but lab coats? Is that how that would work? Okay, yeah, hope Miss says, hopefully I will be live at the regular time tomorrow. My alarm is set for 8 a.m. because I have to go to Discount Tire and get a spare donut. My old one was toast from no use. Oh, bummer. That's never fun when you have to start your morning at Discount Tire, but at least it's not because one of your other ones blew out. That would be a drag. Ooh, Misha says I recognized it. I used a combination of AI and personal, etc. All free software to do them, and it's a blast. Have any of y'all seen Suno.ai yet? I have not. I have some other great hacks in my belt also. That's really cool. This is a good news. On the plus, I found my diamond bracelet I thought I had lost cleaning my car. That's amazing news. So you're gonna keep it or you're gonna sell it for McDonald's? No, not McDonald's. I don't know. What's fun? What's fun? I would keep it. I would keep it. But that's really cool. That's a good find. That's better than finding $20 in your pocket from in the coat from last winter. Miss says or Blessed to Crochet says, "7th, believe it or not, that was one of the nursery rhymes I did not really, do too much with my daughter. Wonder why?" Oh, that's right. You're reminding me where you were at, Misha. Fun FYI, High Times Magazine voted as Potco #1 best pot back in '93. That's the best way to remember I live there. South Potco. Is that what it is? I'm gonna see how far away you are from me. It might be like I also know somebody on the boat who lives, like, in the Gainesville area too, so that's pretty like, north of me, like, you just get closer to Oklahoma, and I'm already pretty close to Oklahoma. If anyone's a faster Googler than me, let me know. Probably. They might be. Let's see. S. Pot. Co. Potawatomi counselor? Oh, no, that's Iowa. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, no, it is. Potawatomi. Is that Potawatomi County? Potawatomi County is a county located in the U.S. state of Oklahoma. As of 2020 census, population was 72,454. That's only that's 2 hours and 51 minutes for me. That's not that bad. I think I drove about that far to get to Oklahoma City for work. Dave and Ava do the classic nursery rhymes, and the graphics are gorgeous. Mary Mary was not one of them. Okay, cool. Haven't got that far for putting on my channel. I have to use a computer. Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. Yes, I have to say the same thing too, Mon. I apologize if I've missed anyone's comment. Uh, I actually I have people in the chat and y'all are chatting with each other. So this is really, really cool. So I'm sorry if I missed anybody. I have to say that as well. Love lamb stew. Animals are always tastiest when they had a good life and they were treated well. So I feel like that, I don't know, I feel like that fits. Oh, you got to get your PC fixed soon. I am on a Chromebook. Like, yeah, I'm on a sad little Chromebook right now. Uh, I need to invest in my own laptop though, because I'll need it to do documentation and stuff for work here in a bit. But I'm putting it off because, yeah, I'm putting it off. I don't want to have to, it's not even the money. I mean, it is the money. I don't like spending money, but it's also like the thing of like, I don't want to have to shop for one because there's all these different specs and I don't know what's what. And really, I just want it to work on the internet and be able to type things and maybe do this. And uh, eh. It makes me tired. Lamb is good. Absolutely delicious. I saw that Johnny found quail eggs in the hose box. I actually saw them at first and I thought, oh, are those snake eggs? But they weren't shaped like snake eggs. So my first thought and comment was, breakfast. See, I thought Dan Quayle is gonna be a father. I was very excited for it. The Quail, Dan Quayle, that is. LOLs, PETA doesn't come here. No, not anymore. If they were lurking, they're not here anymore. Not since I talked about cooking up our friend Huey. If you want protein quickly, get quail. They lay eggs faster than chickens. I didn't know that. That's interesting. My friend had My work friend had chickens for a while, and for a while they were laying a lot of eggs, and they were very productive, and she brought me some farm fresh egg once, and I never like, they're so much better than store-bought. Like, I had no idea how much of a difference there were gonna be. First of all, the yolks are bigger, and second of all, they're almost, like, meatier. Like, it's hard to describe, like, they're, like, thicker. There's more substance to a farm fresh egg. It's wild. Huey did have a good life. Home raised meat usually has one bad day. Yep, exactly. That was his one bad day. Ah, it was you. I hit the like button. I'm glad. Oh, you didn't have a little guy. None of the newborn clothes fit. He was 9.5 pounds. Yeah, yeah. He would start out in like the what is it? Like the 3T, not 3T, like the I don't know, they do baby clothes in months, which doesn't make sense. Have a good night, Misha. If I don't see you, if we're gone, and I might be, because I'm already I'm already here longer than I thought I'd be, but it's because 'cause y'all are fun, and this is fun. But have a good night. And good night, Anthony, thanks for coming by. And I put a picture in the chat. I just wanna show you my sister's special lamb, which is now a ramp. Did you message it to me? If you message it to me, then I can show it. I don't know if it will allow you to put pictures in the chat. I don't think it will, but if you wanna send it, like, on my Messenger, then I can show it up here. I don't think it'll let you put in pictures. Your first girl was 6.5 pounds, and your third was 9 pounds, 13 ounces. I decided to stop. That's probably a good move, unless you wanna break a record of some kind. Mon makes a point, but the eggs from quails are so small, though. Are they smaller than chickens? I don't know. My dad has quails and also a native bird called Australian finches. Ooh, the males were absolutely beautiful, and the poor females were ugly, mooring gray color. That seems to be a thing with birds. What is it? They say that with birds, the males are the decorative of the species, which means they have like the brighter colors and do the little dances and things, and the female birds are like more muted colors. And I think I've read that that is so that when they're nesting and like sitting on their eggs, they can hide from predators better, like they blend in. And then the male birds have all these bright colors to like get the female's attention. That's kind of interesting. I think that's where the phrase peacocking comes from. Moni, did you check suitcases? I bought an old cosmetic suitcase from the 70s and found a $500 bill inside it. What? What? That sounds awesome. I'm gonna go check some old suitcases now. I don't think I'm gonna find a $500 bill in any of them, though. Males also lure predators away. Oh, because 'cause they're the ones that are, like, acting a fool and being silly, so the predators are like, you're annoying, I'm gonna get you," and they forget all about the little lady over there sitting on the eggs. That's probably good. That's how you make more birds, I guess. Well, let me think. I have not stumbled across, we did have some, I think they were little sparrows or something that made a nest on the top of our garage in, like, well, not the top, but there we have like a one of those floodlights, like, on the side of it, like, above the garage, and it is like it's one of those automatic lights that comes on, like, with motion for a little bit, and some birds made a nest, like, right on top of that thing. So the light didn't work correctly anymore because 'cause they're sitting on top of it, but we didn't have the heart to move them, so our light just didn't work until they moved out. But there were some baby birds up there. It was pretty cool. It was neat. I like birds. Actually, I like most animals. Like, I have a healthy respect for some, and I'll, like, stay away from them, like, if they're, venomous or dangerous or something, but I generally like most animals. I'm trying to think if there's an animal I don't like. I don't like parasitic worms. Those give me the heebie-jeebies. Earthworms are fine. Snakes are fine for me, but, like, parasitic worms, like, those give me the heebie-jeebies. But spiders don't bother me. Scorpions don't bother me. I just have a healthy respect for them, like, I'm not gonna, like, mess with them irresponsibly. But, like, the best way to get if you wanna get a spider or a bug out of your house and you don't wanna kill it, the best way to do that is to get, like, a glass, like a clear glass and a piece of paper, and you put the glass on top of the spider or the bug or whatever, and then you slide that piece of paper underneath the glass, and then you've got this, like, sorta top holding it, and you carry it outside, and then you just go, be gone, little spider." Um, I know that sounds extreme, but I like to keep spiders alive because they control population for little bugs and other little things and stuff. They don't belong in my house, but that's usually what I do with them. But I've not had a black widow or a really venomous spider show up on my house in a while though. Um, but black widows and, like, brown recluses, they tend to like to hang around a lot of dust and debris and things like that. At least that's from what I remember. We found both of them in my parents' house, like, in their backyard as kids, though, and my mother would catch them and put them in, like, a jar of, like, alcohol so they would die, but then they would be there for us to look at and go, "See, this is a venomous spider. If you see one of these, don't mess with it." So she kept them as, like, an educational thing. You finished the baby blanket? Yay! Oh, I got behind on the chat again because I was gabbing. I was blabbing. I'm sorry, guys. Aw, barn sparrows. In the barn mostly. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Mom says I've got beautiful birds in my yard, and the reason I like to get up early so I can watch them playing in my backyard. I've got water in the backyard for my birds. I love that. You know what? I have a bird feeder that's outside. I have a window here that I need to refill. I haven't refilled it in a while. The poor birds are mad at me. The squirrels steal from the bird feeder quite a bit, though, so the squirrels are mad at me too. That's awesome. Yay! Finished the alphabet baby blanket. I need to make another one for another baby in our church. I went and looked at the one and finished. That's really, really cool. I guess I'll be frogging sometime this week. What is frogging? Does that have something to do with crocheting? Is that like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds exciting. It sounds fun. Mary says, I'm glad I looked at it and I realized that I forgot a whole section of the market. More importantly, letters out of the alphabet. Oh, so I'm looking at oh, I almost forgot. I looked up this picture of a weird fish. Oh no, where did it go? I lost the fish. Hmm. Ooh, but the first article that pops up on my recommended feed is here are the rarest remaining celestial events of your life. They made that very personal. Like mine specifically? Really? Oh no. You guys, this one says satellites spot clusters of spiders sprawled across Mars, Inca City. Hmm. Oh, and a major Texas lake hit the lowest water level in decades. It's listening to me. My phone is listening to me. It also is giving me an article about the best way to store hot sauce. So, like, it knows I've been watching Chase the Heat and ordering hot sauce. That's okay. All of our phones are spying on us. At least it's giving me something useful, I suppose. Spy on me, give me something useful that I can use. And for those, I don't know what froggy means. Oh, it means undoing your work. I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, Mischief Managed has a fun name. It's fun. It's odd. I live on an island and we have deer, raccoons, and coyotes, but I've never seen a single squirrel. Huh. You know, I bet the coyotes would eat them. Just a theory. Just a thought. They could. But an island? I didn't know you lived on an island. That's kind of cool. So if it's an island and it's surrounded by water, then probably it's just not like if a species didn't start there, it's probably not there. Somebody would have to like bring it over and, you know, bring at least a few of them over so they could procreate in the style of Noah in the ark. I find yeah, the phone's listening to us is weird. Try it sometime though. Like try talking like just like say some random phrase about something you're thinking about buying like oh, I don't know. I'm going to try it now and see how long it takes for me to start getting ads about the thing. Um throw out any old thing. Like y'all put something in the chat, like something you might go buy or something you might be in the market to buy that you're going to research about. What might you want to buy? Just throw something out. Trying to think of something that I haven't already said on there before. Free weights. Free weights. You know, I've been really interested in strengthening exercises lately, so I am looking into buying some free weights. I guarantee you in the next 24 hours, I'm gonna start getting ads on Facebook for free weights. I'll let you know when it happens. It's gonna happen. Lyman Jackson! We love you too. Thanks for coming by. I love how you always enter a chat like that. It's so happy. It warms my heart. It's good to see you. Seventh says a woman wants to buy my wife's knitting machine, and she got bitchy when I asked how she knew she had the machine. That's a good question. How did she know? Like, yeah, like if you didn't advertise it or something, that's a little weird. I don't know. Oh, and we're guessing squirrels don't swim as well. I don't know, do they? They might for a little bit if they had to, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's look. Let's see. Do I'm consulting the Oracle, otherwise known as Google. Do squirrels swim? It's got a video of a squirrel swimming, you guys. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get this to work properly. That is a squirrel swimming. He's just like doing the doggy paddle. What the heck? What the heck? I had no idea. I had no idea. I assumed squirrels could not swim. Oh, look it. He's just like unbothered, like just going out for his daily like constitutional in his pool. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Mischief, I'm glad you said that. I would never have thought to Google that otherwise, and that made me happy. Acrobatic gray squirrel swimming across the lake. It looks like they don't prefer to do it, but they can if they have to. I guess so, like, if they're in a backyard and there's a pool, like, they're not gonna drown most likely. Mon says, "I was talking about an Irish comedian with a specific name, and it came up on my Facebook feed. Scary." Yeah, that's what happens. So sometimes, like so if somebody's ever, like, coming over to have a chat with you and they wanna talk with something about something private and they're like, "I'm gonna leave my phone outside the room," m they're not as crazy as they seem, or they wanna turn off the phone first. It's not as crazy as it seems. But I think it's the same technology that would be in, like, what do they call those? Like an Amazon Echo or a what's the other one? The Google one, the Google Home or whatever it is. Like, those things are designed to, like, listen so that you can, I don't know, ask it questions and stuff. And those things are on the phones too. Unless you have, like, a really ancient phone, like, maybe that wouldn't have it. There's a bridge from the Washington side and a ferry to get to the Oregon side. Oh, that's convenient. Okay, we need a new theory about the lack of squirrels. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that they can't swim, but, I don't think it seems to be that they don't prefer to swim. Oh my gosh. So you go down a rabbit hole and it becomes a rabbit hole. Like, all I did was Google "do squirrels swim?" And if you scroll down far enough, you get to Quora, which is like a crowdsourcing question answering platform, and, like, people vote up the answers they find the most helpful or that they like the most. And one of the questions that pops up is, "Can squirrels be trained to perform synchronized swimming routines?" I hope they can. That would be amazing. What? Oh, it says you better have some peanut butter available for rewards if you're gonna try that. Oh, you mean leaving the phone outside the room or turning the phone off? Like, if you're going into a therapy session or something like that? Um, Although I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, listen to me, phone. I don't care, phone." I mean if I'm having a private in-person conversation with somebody though, like, if they're in the room, if they ask me to turn off my phone or put my phone out of the room, I'll probably do it just because I know that the phone's listening. But the phone is not listening for I don't know. I mean, I don't know for sure, but it's listening to sell you things, like that's the impetus. So at least it's predictable. It's listening to sell things. So it's not necessarily positive, but at least we know what it's for. My daughter bought me an Alexa. It's in the back room. And it creep is that's what they are. They're called Alexa. They creep me out a little bit. My in-laws have one and they had a lot of fun like asking it like what the weather was and what lyrics to songs were, but my husband would always like say, "Alexa, stop spying on me." And she would say back, "I don't understand what you said," or something. It was pretty silly. And 7 says, "I need to get rid of a yard full of ground squirrels." Oh, you need to borrow my dog. That'll do it. My dog is a terrier mix, and whatever type of terrier he is a mix with was bred to catch and kill rodents very efficiently. Because anytime there are any small bunnies or critters or anything like that in my yard, if they do not depart quickly, he makes very quick work of them. Very quick. And he will like lay them out in a little line for me. Um, Very kind of him. So yeah, if you need to get rid of a yard full of squirrels, you need to borrow my dog or borrow someone else's terrier. Like rat terriers especially, like that's why they have their name. They were bred to catch and kill rodents. The synchronized squirrel. We need synchronized squirrels. That would be epic, wouldn't it? And then oh, and Mischief says, "7th, if you need to get rid of ground squirrels, bring them to Mischief's Island." And it is Mischief's Island. No one else. Your people on your island. Could you imagine we make it an Olympics new type of activity? Synchronized squirrel swimming. Do, 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 do. Alexa had trouble understanding me. I got mad. Told Alexa to go to hell. I hear searching for directions. Ah, that's great. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Mine, I say, the squirrels. Oh, I love you guys. You'll make me happy. My dog used to watch the mice, and he couldn't be bothered to catch them. He just watched them like, "Oh, this is amusing. I like watching these mice." That's funny. I'm looking at my clock and my messages, and I'm here longer than I thought I would be because I log on and I'm like, "I'm just gonna be here an hour. I'm just gonna be here 30 minutes." And then y'all show up and y'all are a blast and y'all are fun and, um or ooh, what's this? Mom says, "Or if you say bloody hell, Alexa," she says, "That's rude." Your dog is a pacifist. Okay. Well, hey, that's not the worst thing in the world. Like, it's really not. It might be a good thing that a dog is a pacifist. So I usually don't like to run over too much past 1 a.m. my time because that's when Chow Yun Smut goes on, and I like people to see her because she's awesome and she's fun. And I don't like to yeah. I mean, I come on around this time because that's when I have time and that's when my kiddo's asleep. Uh, Captain Calhoun said something the other day about or not the other day. It is the other day now technically because it's after midnight where I am. About reaching out to do a ripples thing, but I mean, and that sounds fun, but I'm also like, I don't have any topics though. Like I start out with a topic and then it just goes where it will. And it just depends on who's there and who's talking. But I guess that's kind of the point anyway. I guess that could be okay. And if people have something serious they want to talk about, I'm not scared of that. My husband and daughter had fun with Alexa. Make a fart noise. You know, you can change your name too. Like, you can give her, like, horrible names, like dumbass, like, you could change her name that she responds to. I know people that have done that. Oh, the doggy pacifist. I'm not sure about that. He used to get too good of food. I put it down to that. Oh, he doesn't need to chase rodents because 'cause he's got a banquet that he has. Oh, right now it is 2 PM Monday afternoon in Western Australia. It's the future. I hope the future is good. Thank you for reporting back to us from the future, Mon. We really appreciate it. Alexa has many fart noises. That is too funny. That makes me happy. Y'all are silly and fun, and I am silly and fun too. So this works. This works. Well, let's see. What else? We covered a lot of stuff today, guys. We covered why there's no squirrels on the island. Actually, no, we didn't figure that out though. We figured out the squirrels can swim, but we don't understand why there's no squirrels on Mischief's Island. That's weird. But you'll have to like pinpoint for me like what your island is so I can research this. But I don't know if you want to do that because I don't know if you want to, I don't know if that's too doxy. But doxy? Is that a word? It is now. Uh, something that may potentially dox a person. Doxy. There we go. Oh no, my bum is hurting from too much Pilates. No pirates collected. Boo. You said it was clinical Pilates. Is clinical Pilates different than other Pilates? I'm still curious about that. Oh, you'll send me a map. Oh, good. That way I can figure out what this mystery about the squirrels. Um, because that's gonna keep me up at night. Why does Mischief have no squirrels? Where are the squirrels gone? You know what I noticed that I didn't know before when I'd only ever been in this part of the country? So we have like brown colored squirrels in my neck of the woods. Like their fur is the color brown. But when we went up north, I started seeing gray squirrels. And I thought that was interesting. And I don't know what I guess there are different, like, species of squirrels, or maybe their coloring is just based on, like, their environment and, like, what'll help them blend in more, I guess? I don't know, but I thought that like, I had just taken that for granted forever. I use machines. Fried squirrel is good? I've never had fried squirrel. Actually, I've never had fried squirrel, period, but I would try it. Like, pretty much like most foods, like, I would try pretty much anything once to see if it's good. Maybe a second time in case the chef had an off night. Like, I really would. There's probably 1 or 2 things I wouldn't try, but I'd be hard pressed to find them. Like, I'm pretty open-minded with food. Now, if I were pregnant, I would be more picky because then it's not about me, but if it's just me, like, I'll try all kinds of food. I don't care, as long as I'm not gonna get sick. Gray squirrels in Washington. Yeah, yeah, different parts of the country have different looking squirrels. I had no idea. All these different they have different outfits. So when I was younger, I used to watch the show Sex and the City. Don't judge me, but it was fun. And one of the phrases that I liked from that show is Carrie Bradshaw once said, "A squirrel is just a rat with a cuter outfit." And I just like it. I think that's probably true. Y'all probably heard me say before my dad hates squirrels. He has an ongoing battle with them. He doesn't like that they eat the pecans off his pecan trees. He doesn't like that they like when he grows fruit trees, he doesn't like that they'll grab a piece of fruit, take one bite out of it, and toss it on the ground. So he has an ongoing battle with the squirrels. He will literally he'll shoot at them with a BB gun. Um, and he's gotten to be a pretty good shot. So usually, though, if he doesn't like pump the BB gun up to full power, like it doesn't kill them. It just kind of makes them go ah, kind of like a paintball gun would on a human. But one time he had it, he turned it up higher, and then he had to dispose of uh, gone squirrel. So I am trying to pull up Chow's link here. Oh wait, no, I have an easier way to do it. I can do it from my phone. I'm being silly here, you guys. I'm a silly human. Oh, and there's more chat stuff. Wonder if ground squirrels will taste as good. How are ground squirrels different? I don't know if I have ground squirrels near me. I'm gonna look. Please hold. Please hold. That's not even a British accent. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, they do look a little different. They're the squirrel family, but they live on the ground on burrows instead of tree squirrels. They look kind of like tiny prairie dogs. Like they're kind of cute though. Oh, I got to turn down the brightness. That's what I learned about this. They're kind of cute. They kind of look like somebody shaved a squirrel's head. Mom says, so I walk on my back, but nurse knees. And this is the clinical Pilates. And you increase the tensions on the machine. I'm really worried about speaking to the male physio about needing my bum massage. I don't know how I'm going to ask. You could just use like clinical terms for it, like gluteal muscles. Like I think maybe you could just start like talking about, I mean, I don't know. I take anything I say with a grain of salt, but I guess you could just use like the proper terminology and just like start describing your pain or discomfort. And then a good physical therapist will be able to figure out what would help that. And if it's that kind of massage, then all right, there's that. Oh, my random accent I broke into sounded Minnesota. I don't even know where it came from. I don't know. Yeah, the ground squirrels don't have bushy tails. They don't. Their outfits aren't as cute. Someone I someone I dated on and off for a long time, his family was originally from Wisconsin. Oh, I missed this from 7th. Wonder if YouTube has butcher squirrel. YouTube has videos on everything, man. Like, they probably do. They probably do. And I mean, my brother used YouTube videos to teach himself how to fix cars, so I would not be surprised. Um, Butchering squirrels, I think, is a lost art. My mother told me that, her dad, my grandpa, knew how to do it, like, and skin them and stuff. But it was a lot of work. She said it was a lot of work. So my dad always jokes about killing the squirrels and cooking them up. And my mother's response is always, okay, well, then you're going to skin them then. She doesn't want to do that mess. But it is nice to know there's this ready source of meat in case of shortages or something. So, what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm pulling up a link to our friend Chow Yun Smut's channel. Share. I'm going to click share, copy link, and then I'm going to come back to. I'm just narrating what I'm doing here. That must be really exciting, YouTube. This is the content you come for, right, guys? For me to narrate how I'm grabbing a link. Here we go. And there's probably a way to do it on here, but for some reason it's faster than me on the phone. All right. And there's a delay. That's fun. So there's Miss Chow Yun Smut's link. If you guys like to go over there, that is where I am headed. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. You guys made me laugh a lot today. I will never forget the synchronized swimming squirrels. I'm gonna look into that. Uh, that's gonna stay with me probably to the end of my days. The synchronized swimming squirrels. S cubed. I like it. Mon says, "Have a good night, everyone, and hopefully you'll get some sleep and not end up back on the bathroom floor again." Thank you, Mon. Hey, last night I went to bed early. I went to bed at like 9 and I stayed asleep. So I'm working on it. See y'all there. Take care. Thanks for being here. Good night, everyone.